Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 82. Yep, last one in May.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, June is soon.
June is soon. And speaking of June is soon, we will have that Dancing Dog Dye Works. Jumping right into the Administrati because we got a review at the end. The Dancing Dog Dye Works thread is June 1st, I believe. So we'll be drawing for that next week.
Yep.
And that's a super fun thread if you want to go out and look at cute dogs.
Yep.
And cats. Just pets in general, doing fun things. We had to keep Max from licking himself on camera before we started. So yeah, pets are known to do fun things.
For sure.
Yep. And we have our KAL going on, the kind of not a KAL, or a KAL of KALs.
Yeah. Finished that.
Yep, the Finish That KAL. And that is for May and June, so you've got one more month to finish up your other KALs if that is something you were interested in doing. And then there's the year-long self-striping, which I've seen some new people jumping in and adding their entries. So that's exciting. Yeah, I haven't worked on my self-stripies since last week.
I just started up again this week, so
we're passing the baton then.
Yes.
Last week I was sitting here working on them and trying to figure out, I was like at a stalemate. I was like, what am I going to do for the pattern? And this was after we had gotten done recording, and I'm going to admit to my blonde moment. And I was like, wait, I can work on the shawl again. We're not recording.
Yeah.
Amy's like, it's so true. She did. She was like, wait.
Yeah. I can work on that secret thing again.
Because we're not recording. It's just, I mean, I think it speaks to that this is recording a show, but yet it's still just us sitting around talking, which is what we do after we stop recording as well. So
yep.
It's just an extension. So sometimes I have a hard time remembering if I had said something on air or not, because I know that I said it to you. I just can't remember whether or not the camera was rolling.
Right.
Yep. So that's the Administrati. Do you have any FOs?
Right into it.
What, did you have anything else? I mean, you're the one who was like, let's get going. We got a review to do.
I will just say that I went to Build-A-Bear workshop, and my daughter and I made some horses. She made a realistic one. I got Pinkie Pie. And they are super cool. I love, if you're a My Little Pony fan, those stuffed animals are so cool. Worth the money to me. I thought it was really good size, big. I don't know. Very cool.
Did you get to put special things inside Pinkie Pie?
My daughter did the little kissy thing and put the heart in there, and it was very cute. We hadn't been before. It was our first time.
And that trip caused by the horrible rainy weather all of the holiday weekend? Yeah.
It was brought on by another day at home in the rain. So
we got our umbrellas out, so the kids got to play with their umbrellas, which they've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah, it wasn't bad for that either. But we had steadily been doing that kind of stuff all weekend, and it was like, okay, we're done. Going up for Monday. But anyway, moving on. FOs. I did finish my Deersta shawl, and this is some of my hand spun from Into the World, and yeah, I like it. My daughter has already claimed it. She thinks it's very pretty, and she's like, Mom, can I how did she put it, can we keep that in my room or something? I'm like, sure honey. So that is one and only.
Oh, okay. I have a shawl as well.
I was very close to getting some yarn done, but not really. Oh, there you go. You can't see it.
Nope, you can't, but it's gorgeous. And every time I think about it, it gives me an earworm because it's a song that I know and love. It's the title, but again, I can't tell you, and I can't show you, but all I can say is it's fabulous. And if you're not coming to the retreat, I believe Jenna mentioned in her podcast, Jenna Retro Lemon Studios, Retro Lemon Designs.
Studio is her podcast.
Okay. And it's fabulous design. I enjoyed it very much, in part due to the pattern, but also because this is Jeanette's Sun Valley Fiber MCS Merino Cashmere Silk, 75, 15, 10, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice blend.
It is, and this is the third way that I've seen it knit up. Mm-hmm. So Amy did the nice squishy garter.
Yep.
And I had the very drapey stockinette of the striping in the Daybreak, and this is very lacy, and it is fantastic across all three of those mm-hmm. shawls. So yep, hopefully I can remember to show everybody after the retreat, but I love it, and it's fantastic, and it's big, yep. and it's purple, and it's wonderful.
I can verify I saw it all laid out.
Tease. And then I have a hoe.
You do?
I do.
A very important, special one.
Yes. This is another test knit. So I'm test knitting for Josh, sort of a knitter, who is Geonetrix Designs, Josh Ricks. And this is his new mitts pattern called Rock Strata. And it is fantastic. It's I started out, I had some Dancing Dog Dye Works in the Girl Cave bags, because it's in the Girl Cave bags bag here, and the variegated had the solid in it, and so if I did I have knit these several times to a certain extent. If I knit the variegated as the main color, then sometimes it matched with the stripe mm-hmm. in the solid. And then if I use the solid, because these don't have a huge yardage requirement, so I had enough either way. If I use the solid, then sometimes the skinny stripe with the variegated blended in with the solid. So I think obviously Dancing Dog Dye Works is fantastic for animals with the coordinating of those variegated and solids. It was just the wrong application. So this is the it's a light worsted Mrs. Babs. The Yowza What a Skein from my the big turtleneck.
I don't remember.
Idlewood. And then held double that same fabulous MCS from Sun Valley. So, and I have to decide whether or not the other one is very cool, because when you have them on, then they complete a V. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking of doing something kind of fun and maybe switching them around.
Yeah, doing the opposite.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Having asymmetrical mitts. But yes, it's a fantastic design. Really super fast because it's worsted. But it's kind of like the self-striping, like mm-hmm. you just want to do one more row. I want to get to the end of that and see what it looks like. And I really like these two colors together.
Yes.
If I don't say so myself. I'm normally not so great with the color selections, but this I was like, hey, they're sitting next to each other in my leftover bin. That looks nice together. So,
making me want to go to my leftover bin and find the perfect
Yes,
combo.
Amy was oogling them before we recorded. I think they're fantastic. So again, that's Rock Strata mitts. He was wearing them at Shepherd's Harvest, the black mm-hmm. and white. And I'm just knitting them, so I don't know when they'll be out, but they are fantastic knit. And
I don't know why I just thought of Jim Gaffigan, but it was like, Cookie, you're being modest. I don't know why. If you're familiar with Jim Gaffigan, you got that. The whole skit is playing in your head, and you're like, that is hilarious. But otherwise, Google him. He's funny.
Yep.
And perfectly clean. No swears.
What else was I going to say? Oh, these, if you think they look small, I went down from the recommended needle because I have small hands. So I didn't want them to be big and bulky, and but they're big enough to fit you, and we have, you know, different sized hands. So, because it's very squishy, you know, garter has a lot of give, and they're on the bias, and they, like you said, you really liked the fit as well. So, one of my ends that I wove in is peeking out. Yeah, go back in there, buddy. But yes, that is my hoe, and that is it. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I've had other things that were super secret knitting, but
okay,
I'm not going to talk about it. You do too?
I do. Yes, it is an ongoing thing. It's been going on for a while, so, and I have more to do, so. Woo. But here is the beginnings of my folded. I have reached the waist shaping, so it's starting to go in a little bit.
Acceleration.
And then it'll go back out again and finally get to the top.
It goes in, it goes out, it goes back in again.
It's very like bottom up fingering. I will say that I am really enjoying knitting with the Green Gargoyle.
That's fantastic.
It's an MCN that I got at Yarn over a year ago. And Lene is coming to our retreat, so yarns very similar to this will be available.
Woohoo!
And
hopefully she brings the big rig.
Yeah.
Lots of it. Yeah.
She had mink in her booth this year, so that might be on my list.
So what did you decide to do? You're three of them.
Three. I have to unbraid them every once in a while, which is really complicated.
Oh, that's super soft.
I know. The drape, the fingering on size 6 is perfect. Love it.
This was the garment that I first decided that if I ever did another one like that, a fingering top, bottom up garment, that I was going to do a provisional cast on and work it from
top down. Yeah, and it didn't really occur to me, but this is one that's kind of like it pleats at the top, right? So it's a lot to start with.
It is.
So it'll get speedy as it gets towards the top.
That is beautiful. And what is the colorway?
I don't have the ball fans and I don't remember. Something about a storm.
Okay.
So I can't remember if it's like stormy skies or something with storm in it.
Okay.
And hopefully it's on my projects page.
I'm sure it is.
So then a little bout of cast-on-itis here. I have the folded is new, and then this is the My Honey. And we decide how we pronounce our favorite Canadian little girl knit designers. Elena Nodal.
Yeah. That's how you pronounce it. Andiomina?
Andiomina?
Yeah.
She's also a retreat sponsor. So anyway, this is not her yarn. She also is an indie dyer, but this is the Plymouth that I had shown, that Gina. Yeah, Plymouth Gina. Pretty. And that is knitting up really fun. I am doing a worsted, and I went up a needle size, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than the size that I am knitting. So I'm knitting it 2 size. Like, how do you say that? I'm knitting the one that should fit her, but I'm knitting it on bigger needles and bigger yarn, so it should fit her in the future. And
you're upsizing it.
Yes, I'm upsizing it. So I definitely, I just took the sleeves off this evening while we were at gymnastics, and I am pretty excited to get going on this one. It's fun to see the striping change and to
sorry, I was laughing. I was like, did anybody at it seems like if I'm knitting an adult garment in public, people will ask me if I'm knitting it for a child, and if I'm knitting a child's garment, they often ask me if it's for me. Did anybody at gymnastics like,
no,
oh, is that for you? And it's always like, isn't it obvious that this is not for me?
Yeah, we have a gym bag, and somebody asked me if I made that. I'm like, no, it's a 31 bags bag. But nobody asked me about my knitting. I have Hobbs Head. So that's my crocheting for the week.
What did you do with the rest of its body?
I haven't made it yet. I have noticed that my anatomy, my wrists really do not like crochet. I must be like gorillaing it or something, just like really forcing it and tightening up and not being a very relaxed crocheter.
She's a tight hooker.
Yes. How does that happen? I don't know. Yes. So I was having wrist issues, so now I can only work on this a very little bit. So that you'll see very little progress on this guy. As much as I want to get him done for my son, it was killing my wrists.
And see, now I've heard that people like do the, they flip back and forth because it stresses different parts of their...
And it does. Basically, I thought it was the knitting and working at a computer all day. And I was just like, oh, I've just been knitting too much or whatever. And so I put on my little wrist guards overnight, and I was like, okay, it seems to be getting better, but I also hadn't been crocheting. And then I had a big Saturday where I had a lot of time to knit because my mother-in-law was in town, and I picked up the crochet so I could work on it. And I got through his muzzle and the ears and had finished the head, and I woke up the very next day and I hurt. My wrist hurt. And I was like, bingo, it's crochet. So I need to learn to relax and figure out, like, I did try to change up my grip on the needle or hook, but I still haven't found the magic. So this will be slow progress because I can only work on it a certain amount, or I'm marshalling myself so that I don't work on it more and have my wrist hurt. It was starting to affect my work.
That's not good.
So, where you have to take a lot of breaks and do stretches because you just can't. Yeah, it's starting to affect my work. And then I started up my bust knitting again, and so I'm further on my pinstripe socks.
And that is by
Wee Sheep. Yep, Wee Sheep. Sticks and Stones podcast.
Correct.
Woohoo.
Yes.
The memory is not failing.
She's also a retreat sponsor, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
She's giving some patterns and some jewelry.
Cool.
Yeah.
They have the really cool memory bracelets that they make on the shelf. That'd be cool. So,
I'm glad that you showed the socks so that I could work that in.
Yep. This is, just really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any she doesn't have a gusset heel on it, so then I had to stop and do my gusset heel because, again, I've just been more happy. I started out doing afterthought heels on stripy socks because I wanted the look, but then I found that I wasn't as happy with the finished product because the heels didn't fit my feet right. So I just said, to heck with it. I'm going to always do my heel.
Utility over to vanity.
Yeah.
Many a mom.
Yep, exactly. So I was thinking that I might try different heels like yours or Patty's or something at some point, but definitely not the afterthought one.
Yeah, the tricky part about my heel is it's kind of a mock gusset, so you wouldn't be able to do your top down. You'd have to do them toe up because you could actually just do a gusset. You wouldn't have to do a mock one with mine, right?
Okay. That's fine. Toe up's fun too.
Okay.
Maybe my next
disclaimer.
Maybe my next stripy socks will have to be the toe up modified.
I love it.
Heel.
Love it, love it, love it.
But that's it. That's all I had. Well, that's all. I did want to, like, you were holding up your bags and saying who they were from, so I thought I'd say this is a Jessalou bag. I really enjoy it. It's got bees on the inside.
It's a nice small size.
Yeah.
For socks.
Yeah, it was a good one. And I like, it's a good one for hanging and knitting as well. And then I have my Lois Knitting's My Bag bags.
That one's big.
Yeah, this is my medium. This is the medium. This is the small. So this small holds like a nice good shawl. This is holding that girl sweater right now. And then, like, I don't necessarily need all this room for the one that I'm working on right now, but it's nice to have.
Once the sweater gets bigger, you will need it.
So, green, apparently.
Yeah, I always think, well, but then you're using the yarn, so the yarn should take up less space, but it's all compacted down into that ball, right? The ball doesn't take less
It's way
space,
different,
yeah.
especially when you're working on a shawl. It becomes obvious that that does not end up being the same.
It's like surface area. It's the surface area, not the actual.
I might as well just
weight.
keep these out.
My socks did not get anything other than before I realized. And then you saw, oh, I was going to mention, I forgot in my FO to mention that I'm going to link in our show notes, and I wanted to give a shout out to Paula of Knitting's Pipeline about the magic knot. I tried it with this, and I can't find where the magic knot is.
Oh, okay.
Because you and I were talking about it, and you were like, well, I would think that you would notice where the knot was. So Jane Richmond filmed a video of how to tie. I was trying to explain to my husband what the knot was, because he's a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. So he was like, is it a square knot? And I was like, I don't know. All it is a knot that uses one end up here, you tie it, and then a knot that you tie down here, and then you pull them together. And that, it's not going anywhere because they're using the force against each other, so they're like locking each other in place, if that makes any sense. And then you just trim off the little ends, and I was worried, and I tugged on it, and I was like, as I was knitting it, and I really liked it. It was a seamless joint. I didn't have to weave in any ends. It was just one ball into the next. Bazinga. So thanks to Jane Richmond for videotaping that, and to Paula for bringing that to my attention. I used it there, and I might use it again. I'm alternating skeins on this, so I don't really need to, right? If I were just doing it continuously.
Every time I see a picture of that, I think it's crochet.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. It's the tulle stitch, tulle stitch, Tulle, tulle. Is that how you spell tulle, like the tool that you get in crafts? Yes. Like the ribbony stuff? That's how you spell it? This is the Dancing Dog Dye Works. Flamenco. 100% superwash merino DK in the forest colorway. And I am knitting the neon. So I'm going to take this off so you can see it. But it is a fantastic, pay no attention to the t-shirt. It's a raggedy old thing that I threw on. To be underneath the cardigan before thinking through that I was going to put this on. It says Barney Stinson Marathon Training. Step one, you start running. There is no step two. This is not licensed How I Met Your Mother apparel.
Yeah, good.
I printed it. That's all. But that is Barney. It was a screenshot. It was online. So this is the Neon by Joji Locatelli. I think I chose the wrong size.
Oh no!
It's supposed to have like
positive ease.
Negative ease.
Oh.
And I have positive ease.
You have positive ease there?
Yeah, it's going to have a button band.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's just not going to look all stretchy and form-fitting like hers is.
Okay.
My gauge had me, again, I'm not going to work this all out on air, but if I had done the small size, which was finished 30 inches, I thought that was going to be too much negative ease. Like, I was thinking it was going to be more like a 28, and that would be like, for me, like, I don't know, 4 to 5 inches of negative ease. So instead I did the 33, thinking that I'd be closer to 30. Anyway, yeah, playing with gauge. Woot woot. But I love it. I love how there's the tonal changes with the skeins, alternating skeins, and it's been zoom zoom. I really like it. It's the contiguous sleeve, and it's got a little bit of a V, but I could have a nice little cropped thing here. After knitting that lace weight garment and the shawl, which was fingering and whatever, this theme is really thick. It feels like I'm knitting with rope. But it's fantastic rope at that, and it does kind of look crocheted. But I like it, and it's a fun, super easy. Like, I was intimidated, and I've heard bad things about doing it in the round for the sleeves, but flat, it's fantastic. Super simple. couldn't be a simpler stitch. I mean, it's 2-stitch repeat.
Yep.
So, I like simple yet sophisticated. It looks like, wow, there's no way you did that. Yep, I did. You can get your Jim Gaffigan voice back out if you need to. Now, aren't you proud of yourself, Cookie? And that is my WIP. Other than I need to do another mitt and my socks. Acquisitions and enabling.
I bought a Pinkie Pie. Otherwise, nothing.
Okay. I have a really quick one. My spoiler alert, my first shipment of the World Traveler Club came from Miss Kiki, Yarn vs. Zombies. And eucalyptus soap, it smells so good. It's Australian soap. And this is 75% BFL, 25% nylon in the Bite Me base. And it's Bushfire is the inspiration.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think these would make fantastic socks. Especially if you were doing something that's going to make these colors juxtapose, like slipping it. Are you getting high off my soap over there?
Yeah.
Australian botanical soap with lemon, lime, and petitgreen.
And eucalyptus, of course.
It smells fantastic. In fact, I'm surprised Max is putting up with it. The cats earlier were kind of like,
Too smelly.
Yes. And then I was going to mention I don't have the details quite yet on my sock pattern that is going out through this World Traveler Club on the 5 spots, but stay tuned. In fact, I would say that if you followed me on Twitter or were out on our forums, you might get an update if you're interested in that sock pattern.
Okay.
Because it might be off cycle.
Oh,
Next time, right? It might be. If you want to sign up for the club, there's 5 spots. Go! Yeah, so stay tuned. And then last, but certainly not least, we have our review. Woohoo! Woohoo! So, you have heard us review the 2 other books in the series, right?
From Tin Can Knits. Yep.
Tin Can Knits, with Emily Wessel and... Why can't I remember the other person's name?
I don't know, she's the only one credited on this one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Emily Wessel. Okay. Well then, why can't I get back to the... Yep, I'm a fail.
There you go.
So Handmade in the UK. Actually, I probably wanted to hold it up. It is Luscious Lace and Artisan Yarns, 10 Unique Designs by Emily Wessel. 2013 is when it came out. And I think I can see whether or not I'm getting the glare. We had a little discussion last week, and I wanted to clear it up, that I did not forget the beautiful Lush on the Miss Smurfy too. But we had been talking about another Sarah M. at Shepherd's Harvest, and then I was thinking of a total garment altogether, totally different garment altogether. I was thinking of the Bonnie, because I want to knit it. And so I thought you were talking about the Bonnie. I was like, I've never seen the Bonnie knit up. Like, so yeah, we had a complete misunderstanding. But the Lush, which is on the cover, is fantastic. And much like every other one of their pattern books that we have reviewed, they have fantastic sizes. They've got really straightforward diagrams. Their stitch patterns are just to die for. I absolutely love them. What else in general can I say? There's again a very good
spread of projects.
Yep. So we've got garments, which what I'm drawn to, but there's also socks and hats. I really like the rosewater hat.
And they have shawls.
Yeah, which they show.
And a blanket.
Hanging up.
A modular blanket.
I love that blanket. And I've been seeing, I don't know if you have the same person in your feed, but I've been seeing finished objects of this. Either in a blog roll or in my Ravelry friends.
Okay.
My stalker list.
I did go out to the Vivid test knits that are already, so people who've already knit the squares, and she had a great variety. Like, people had done them in sock yarn and measured them, and some people had done them in DK and bulky and worsted, and I think that they have theirs done in a DK, but
or ply wool. That's what it says.
Oh. I thought it was a DK, but then having all the other samples and how big they knit up was kind of neat. I think that your DKs were going to be like a 9-inch square, and then like a bulky was going to be a 12-inch square.
Okay.
So
it just says yarn as desired, samples in a ply wool.
Yep. It's very cool.
Yes, very cool indeed. So the socks, I am not a big fan of holes on the top of my socks. In fact, I made some non-holy monkeys because I didn't like the holes. These are very pretty. I really like the stitch pattern. It reminds me a little bit of the Sitka spruce with the back and forth. Very pretty and very... That was the other thing that I mentioned to Amy that I didn't say aloud yet to you guys, I'm remembering. I printed out the Bonnie because I just ordered some Marigold Jen. Her BFL silk base is the exact same weight and yardage as what it calls for in here. So the Juno Fiber Arts Alice lace is a 875 for 100 grams, I believe. And that's the exact same as Miss Jenny Porter's. And so I was like, bazinga! And it's like $30 for a top, right?
Right.
All in one skein. No alternating skeins. No. So I bought this really pretty lace. It's coming to me with her Memorial Day sale coupon that was out in the coupon codes. Totally enabled. She is also a retweet sponsor. She sent some beautiful Apple of Megan's Eye and Amy's Punky Plum for retreat folks. And anyway, so back to Bonnie. I printed it out, and there is the picture, which you don't necessarily need when you're knitting it, other than it's nice to show people, like, this is what I'm knitting. And I printed it, I print 2 up, so there's 2 pages per page, and it's duplexed. And so I got the whole pattern on 1 sheet of paper for a fantastic, lacy, beautiful top. So there's the schematics, there's the beautiful top, and then there's the pattern, and the stitch pattern, which is fantastic. So I'm excited about that. It seems like it's a fairly quick knit. If it's, when I get that ball, it's just going to be, this is going to become a garment. But I really like the Bonnie. That is next up on the needles for me from this book.
I liked this.
The ones in the English Garden.
Yeah, the English Garden is my favorite section of the book.
So there's the Rose Water, which is a beret. I think I can zoom in on. I really like the top of the hat detail. Again, that might be kind of blurry for you guys because it was kind of blurry for me. They show a little boy wearing it, which is kind of cool. I think. Hunter. Yep, Hunter is rocking it. And then you liked the Botany, which is inspired by the elegant geometries found within the natural treasure box in Edinburgh's Botanical Gardens.
Yeah, this one, quite a few people have made it into a completely round shawl. So go out and look at the projects. It's kind of cool, and I want to do it. But again, I'm still shawled out, so eventually.
Then there's the Lush, which has that
cover shot.
Yep, the very pretty lace detail across the front panels and then the back top. And that one was the pre-release, right? That was what you were alluding to last week when I was completely oblivious. And then there is the Scottish Wild. I really like...
That sweater's cute.
Yes.
And they have it on a kid, too. Right there.
I'm trying to find it. It's the beginning of that section, but it's not necessarily the...
pattern,
Yeah,
wind. There it is with the kid.
Windswept. Oh, so beautiful. it looks like I'm getting more and more into, especially like, you know, with the Maris, with the front lacy panels, that accent keeps you interested. And it also, it's not, I don't know, I mean, I enjoy really warm garments, but that's almost like natural ventilation in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a little lighter weight because there is some ventilation, for lack of a better word. It's not a very luxurious way of saying it, but yeah, so there's the little guy wearing it, and it looks cute on him as well. In that yellow. Oh, I've been looking at so many yellow garments lately. And then a very similar stitch pattern, although I'm looking at the stitch patterns and I don't think they're the exact same. No, they're quite different, in fact.
Okay.
On come on, wake up. On the hat and mitten set for lock.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got here, if I turn it this way. Oh, I'm getting so good at this. I could become a professional iPad shower offer person. If only somebody would pay me to do it. Mitten and hats, so you can have the hats and the mittens match, reflect one another.
She's eloquent too. Shower offer person.
I'm so well spoken.
She's good at doing that.
Yes, I can flick. And then there are this vivid. Oh, such a pretty blanket. And I know so many people with occasions that could have said pretty blanket, and those colors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are vivid colors, but they
speak to you.
They do, and they're not like your nacho typical colors, I guess. Oh, I tried to close it. Yeah.
You're losing your cred.
I am. My street cred. Oh, that's cool. Did you see that?
Oh, fun.
So they have where the yarns came from, and then they've got tincanneknits.com in Edinburgh.
Cute.
Yes.
Little map.
Yeah. It's kind of like
reading Middle Earth.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're simpatico in that way. I was totally thinking of Lord of the Rings, where you like flip to the back and refer to it, and they're talking about now we're in the Shire, and then we're
map of Middle Earth. Yeah.
Yep. Amy and I don't often think the same thoughts, but when we do,
they're pretty nerdy.
They are. Totally. Totes. Okay, so that is Handmade in the UK.
So it tells us US 18?
US 18, Canada, oh no, Canadian 12?
No.
That's, I don't know what
it's 18.
Pounds, 12 pounds.
Yeah, 12 pounds, but 18 US and Canada.
Yep.
Not bad?
Pretty stuff. And not only have they sent it to us to review, but they gave us a digital copy to give away.
Yes.
So I think that I'm just spitballing here. I think that the winner, to win, you will need to enter into the thread one of your favorite finished projects.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna have to go out and find one of the patterns that you like, and then find one that in the projects for that pattern that you like.
Oh, so if there's not very many, it could be.
I think they all have some.
Yeah, they all have some because they were tested.
So in the very least, it will be the one that's pictured in the pattern in the book.
But yeah, Lush has quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
And Vivid has more than you would think.
Botany, you said people are turning it into circulars.
This is true.
So come on.
It's a good idea.
So yeah, that's the review. We have another review coming up next week for a new band. It could be a band. I like the name for a band. A new bag. If you were in Minnesota, you'd say bag.
Big. Yeah.
Big. A new bag manufacturer out of Australia called Yazzie. You have to say it like an Aussie. Yazzie.
I don't think that's...
Oi.
No.
Sorry. Again, not good at speaking English, nor am I good at speaking other dialects either. And so yeah, we'll be reviewing that next week. They've sent us some products to look at and share with you. And so yeah, it's about that time. Retreat news.
Okay.
Do we have anything? You sent out a note about people getting their sub orders in for the yarn crawl.
Yes, so if you're on the Yarn Buzz, please, I only have 4 outstanding. I will do some like swizzling and find out who those 4 people are and send them reminders, but it's not like it was due yesterday. It's fine. You're fine. You have time. I'm not.
I had fun with spreadsheets, figuring how many number ones and.
What was the most popular? Do you recall?
It was the Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom's the number 1 seller in the zombie knit-pocalypse yarn bus.
And then I sent out roommates.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that you need a roommate and you didn't get an email from me today, then, which is Wednesday.
So decision tree goes, did I want a roommate? Yes. Check email. Did you receive an email? No. Problem.
Yeah.
We don't know that you want a roommate. You need to let us know.
Megan must also like flowcharts.
I do.
Is Visio your friend?
I do. All Office products are, Microsoft doesn't make an Office product that I don't love.
So hopefully there's not like a infinite loop in our little tree.
No, there is not.
Okay.
Is your roommate you? Yes. That means you are a single. I think we've gotten to our punchy part of the evening.
Apparently.
Anything else with the retreat? We're still getting retreat goodies in. Go check out that sponsor page. It's fantastic. We are busy planning super secret stuff that you guys can't know about.
Yep.
Because it's a surprise. And it's exciting and fantastic, and I love it.
There is an unknown limit on the day passes.
10 more day passes, okay? And then we don't have enough surprises for everyone.
Yeah.
So if you are on the fence and we're just thinking you were going to show up, go out and sign up for a day pass, please. Because we don't want you to get there and be like, oh, everybody else got this, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Sad panda. Because we did our best to keep everything inclusive and open-ended, but it just gets down to the wire and you have to call numbers, right? You have to be like, we are at that number and we can't, yeah.
So again, there'll be a huge disclaimer put on any further after the 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because we will have run out of fantastic surprises. So
it's true. So sign up for your fantastic surprises. Mm-hmm. What else? It feels as if, a lot of stuff's going on. Keep them busy.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot of on-air stuff.
Yeah. Just boring details.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting to the phase when you're planning your wedding. So this is our yarning wedding. Yeah. When you've taken care of the flowers and the venue and the caterer. Not that we're having all of these things at our yarning wedding by any means, but like the big stuff, right? Where you're like, well, after this point, I can quit sweating the big stuff, right? Everything else will just kind of be details. And then the devil's in the details, but
oh yeah, lots of little things creeping around.
Mm-hmm.
But
we're super excited to have everybody coming to Rochester, Minnesota. I've been seeing more and more about Thursdays on First, which is the street fair that is the first day of our retreat. And so I'm super excited about that. I'm like, you people are going to get to see Rochester at its finest.
Yes, absolutely. You'll probably Instagram from the first week of. But yeah, definitely it's coming. June is here. June is soon.
Although it doesn't feel like it outside.
Not yet, yeah. It's hot and muggy now.
That's something. Stacy texted me and was like, I'm coming, but could you do something about that weather before I get there?
I'll try.
Yeah. I know that she said, I know you're busy, but can you do something about that weather? And I was like, yeah, because the low on Saturday, I think, is 41. It's almost freezing, and it will be June.
The advertisements for the hotels downtown are all climate-controlled subway. Climate-controlled skyway and subway.
Yes.
So you will be comfortable whether you get to go outside or not.
Yes. You can go to Counterpoint. You can go buy clothing. You can go to restaurants. You can go get gelato. You can go to a bookstore. You can go to a game store.
You can get a prescription. You can get some pretzels and sodas and...
all within a climate-controlled skyway or subway. Walking subway.
You can even get stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the post office.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything could be reached inside.
True story.
Not always perfectly climate controlled. I noticed some of the skyways were a little muggy today.
Mm.
But, you know, it's that in-between when everything's not quite figured out.
Yeah, they could have had the heat on for all you know.
That's true. It was really cold on Monday, or Tuesday when we went back to work. And today was hot. Go figure.
Anyway, we've babbled on. I don't have anything more to say.
Yeah, it feels like a short episode, but that's alright.
We did a lot of talking.
Blah, 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 blah. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.